Hi, I'm Governor Larry Hogan from Maryland. Congratulations. I'm really excited for all of you. Congratulations on your victory, and you're going to really enjoy this job of governor. It's the best job in the world. Thanks for being a part of NGA, and I look forward to seeing you at Baby Governor School. My first advice would be make sure that you're a member of the NGA and make sure you go to what I call Baby Governor School. It was a tremendous experience right after I was elected. I went and it was I got to be with some current and former governors of both parties, and I was really impressed with the bipartisanship of the organization. I couldn't tell without a scorecard who the Democrats and Republicans were, but there was great advice about best practices and here's how we dealt with this issue in our state. And I would advise every single new governor to make sure that they sign up and get out there, because it was tremendously helpful for me. During the transition, it was about putting together the best team we could find, and really there are multiple things. Transition is a lot of work. There's so many things to get done in a very short period of time. I learned a lot at the school that NGA put on from other governors about how to go through their transitions, but it's critically important that you get off on the right foot. 89 days after I was governor, we had the worst riots in 47 years break out in our largest city, and we had some of the advice I got at school was hire a great adjutant general for the National Guard, get the best person you can for Homeland Security, state police, and your whole security team is going to be critical, and boy, did that come in handy. That's why NGA is so important. There are more and more governors, it seems, are coming in from both parties from the private sector. We have many governors all across the country who have never held elective office, including myself. And I think just hearing from the folks about exactly what's involved in transition, how to organize the government, the kinds of problems and issues that they had to deal with, because it's different. You can try to run government more efficiently and more cost effectively, or try to run it more like a business, but it's got so many more layers. And the NGA school and the NGA in general was just a wealth of information and best practices. I happen to be a Republican in one of the bluest states in the nation. Our legislature is more than 2/3 majorities in both houses are of a different party. And for me, it's really been all about what I think the NGA is all about, which is bipartisanship and working across the aisle, just coming up with bipartisan common sense solutions to the problems that your state has faced. And I guess if you're from a really a blue state or a red state, and you may not have to deal with that, but in my state, we kind of have to figure out compromise and work together to get things done, and it's been pretty successful for 3 years. As governor, you've got to be on top of all of those things. It's a major issue about trying to provide the right skills and the right training for the jobs of the future. But yeah, I guess the governor's job is going to change as well. Luckily, most of us can't stay around that long, but it is evolving, and I think the governors and their staffs and their governments have to keep up with the pace of change. And when we took over the government, we found out that we had departments where they were using green phosphorus screens on DOS from like the 70s. And now we're trying to modernize a state government. It's incredible, but we have to stay on top of that and reinvesting in the infrastructure and training the people. And it's sometimes difficult to recruit that talent into state government because the private sector is usually pays better. We were just named the most innovative state in America, which I'm very proud of. But in government, I brought in, first of all, we have a blend of some people that had government experience, but the majority of my cabinet, the majority of my staff has never worked in government. We brought in folks from the private sector that came in with fresh ideas and a fresh set of eyes to say, how can we run something better, provide better services at less cost? And some of it is technology based, but it's really about talent and the way people envision. And we brought some folks in that were very successful in the private sector, and they sort of were willing to give back by sort of volunteering for state service, and they've just brought radical change to some of our most important but most kind of antiquated agencies. I mean, the most basic, we have so many issues to deal with, from education and economic development and the environment and the economy and all that, but the things that keep me up at night are the basic security of our citizens, the kind of situation we recently just saw in Florida, the riot situation that we dealt with. We've got, shootings in our largest city of Baltimore. So it's the violent crime and the concern over violence that probably are the things that keep me awake at night the most. The things that you shouldn't really stay awake at night about are probably all the other things, because if you work hard and you have a great team, and you have a good plan that you execute, then you should be able to get a couple hours sleep every night.